Wonderful. Thank you, wonderful nourishers. I'm Heather Fleming, the founder of Conscious Nutrition, and you're here tonight for my webinar series for 2023, Steps to Increase Your Nutrition Intuition. I started out as a good old nutritionist and then became a clinical nutritionist, and now I love talking about intuition and our thoughts and our brain chemistry. So I'm so happy to have you here. I am recording this, but you can go ahead, my Zoomers, you can take yourself off mute and ask questions. This is pretty laid back. I like to keep it more laid back. I keep a more lighthearted nutrition approach. I was a all or none perfectionist, militant nutritionist back in the day. And now I used to do cleanses and resets and, all of those type of programs. Now I just want us to be more gentle. I want us to be kinder to ourselves. I want us to be more supportive and nourishing instead of that. I even saw myself try to go all or none and start to grip at the new year. And I went, no, I don't want to do that. That's just not going to work for me. And I could just feel myself go into lack and start being a little bit abusive in our thoughts. Does anyone else, does that ring a bell? I'm currently living in my RV north of Palm Springs at some hot springs, and I'm having the time of my life. The wind is beating us up a little bit. We've been shaking here, and I say I have a cute little dog down here, and she'll probably catapult up to one of those pillows here during our calls. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll be RV. Hopefully, someone might knock, but that's just life, right? Whenever we try to do things perfect, it doesn't always go. Oh, whoops. Oh no, it's not going. Oh no. I even practiced this. We're gonna try it again. Oh, it didn't go live. Oh no. I practiced it, and what do we know? That's all right. Huh, okay. All right, let me get back to this. So we're not going live on Facebook, and I'm super bummed. I even did a tech test. That's what we get when we do a tech test, but we're recording here, and then I'll just go ahead and post it. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to go over a presentation. Like I said, go ahead and chime in, and we will, let me check one more thing, just because my mind's now running a little bit. I'm going to go to my share on my own timeline, see if that will work. Nope, it's not going. So it must be a Facebook Zoom thing. Okay. All right. That's what I get for practicing. All right. Thanks you all. Thanks, Kathy and Melinda. You guys are gorgeous. So it looks like it's just us. Oh, okay. Let me get my laughing out of the way. All right. Here we go. All right. I told you a little about me. I have Conscious Nutrition. We've been growing up together since 2009. And I just love sharing nutritional science along with intuition and feelings and thoughts and hormones and chemistry. So again, thank you all for being here. The number one reason I do my whole career is how much time and energy do you expend worrying or feeling guilty about what you ate or didn't eat? Oh, I can't even count the decades that I spent just shooting on myself and obsessing over a brownie I ate, last Tuesday, things like that. I just was constantly caught in this worry, anxiety bubble around food. So the whole reason I do my career is to help people reduce that worry and anxiety bubble. If that's not you, awesome. Congratulations. That's great. There's still probably some tips in here that will help you support you with your own nutrition program. All right. So there's a few different eating styles. When I started nutrition, many decades ago, there wasn't this many, but we've all heard of Mediterranean diet, vegetarian. I love the blue zones, Ayurvedic, which is nutrition from India, Chinese medicine, macrobiotic, plant-based diet, paleo, Whole30, anti-inflammatory, keto, autoimmune, low histamine, intermittent. They're amazing. A lot of them have some awesome principles. I like to teach food combining. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Kathy said that's her too. She spends a lot of time thinking about food. I love all of these. However, I have seen the tendencies of us beautiful humans with our reptilian brains to try to go in all or none, right? The old all or none. That's why I expended so much time worrying about food. So I teach food combining, which is a cool principle. It's actually overlaps with a lot of these. I keep it super simple. I don't want us to expend so much energy trying to do it perfectly and trying to learn, what to eat this, not that. There's time and place for all these different types of diets too. So for example, when we were hunters and gatherers, we had abundant, fruits in the summer. In the fall, we had, different root vegetables would come out during the fall. And then the winter, we would have less fresh, vegetables. So we probably ate more meat. So what would that be? The keto or carnivore or whatever else is out there right now, paleo. And then the spring, we would have less food, period. So we might have done intermittent fasting. Do you see that rhythm? So we are all of these, and we just need to learn about our own constitution, our own body to sort us throughout the year and throughout the week. There's some days I like to eat lighter, and there's some days I'm with my friends and I want to eat more, grounding foods. There's time you want to eat lighter foods because you have some more mental energy or creativity to expend. And all of what all of these diets are doing, or eating styles, I don't even like the word diet anymore. Let's not even use the word diet anymore. All these eating styles are trying to help you become nourished. So we're trying to receive nourishment so we can detox. Okay. There's all of nutrition right there. So if you're not getting enough nourishment, our body becomes malnourished. And when we're malnourished, we become toxic. That's it. That's all it is. And then that can cause inflammation. So we're in a tug of war. So then our body looks like this guy. We're inflamed, feeling lethargic, feeling stressed. When did this all start? The dieting timeline. There was the industrial era where we started to do more convenience foods. We didn't make our own food as much anymore. We were processing things differently. Then we had the food pyramid. Was that the 70s? Yep, food guide pyramid. So government issued, might have been some subsidized foods in there. Then we had extreme diets in the 80s and 90s, low fat, low carb, high protein. We were all like tug of war. And then we have our own personal journeys. Some of my clients were put on diets at a young age, like even as young as 5 or 8, because their parents wanted to help them with their weight when maybe they would have grown out of it. Or have you ever noticed a kid eat that some days they eat a bunch and some days they don't? So like that tends to happen. So what happens when you're been put on a diet at a young age, you don't get to know your own full feeling. So it changes your chemistry. So everybody has their own story. An aunt might have said something to you like, oh, look at you, you're chunky. And that could have caused an eating disorder or like a body dysmorphia. So we all have a few stories. I haven't met many people that don't have one. That's for sure. So everything I've done is to help us go inward instead of trying to follow the diet outward. I want us to go inward. All right. So I called it Feel Your Meal. All right. So some of you may have heard this. If not, awesome. If you have, thank you for being here again. If not, please ask me questions. So feel your meal. The first step is feel. All right. So breathe. I need to breathe a little. I'm not even on caffeine. This is me having magnesium, like a calm magnesium drink. I'm using a different brand, but to calm my own nervous system. All right. So let's all take a deep breath together. I need one too. So the first step of feel, when you're going into a restaurant, you're going into the grocery store, you're opening up your fridge, you take 5 deep breaths. Okay. And what that does, it relaxes your sympathetic nervous system. So you're more in your parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is like action mode, right? Get things done mode, which is great. We all need that one too. But parasympathetic is like cool vibes, relaxed, your digestion's working great. So when we relax our nervous system, we can tune in to our body better. And plus, look at this bonus. 60% of the body fat loss is by our carbon dioxide from our lungs and our exhale. So let's all start panting. All right. So go ahead and just remember that. It's not about, oh no, I ate the brownie. You know what? I've been in my sympathetic nervous system all day, really stressed out. So we're supposed to be sympathetic in our sympathetic nervous system with cortisol raising and then relaxing. A lot of us aren't experiencing the relaxing part. All right. Then let's see, let's say you're having emotional eating. Like, what did I want the other day? I can't remember. Mac and cheese, maybe. That's one of my main emotional cravings. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? You know what? I'm feeling, maybe I need some comfort. You know what? I'm going to call a friend. So we allow the stress to move through a little fully. When you do my programs, we practice this together. So this is kind of advanced, but that's all right. Other modalities, EMDR, hypnotherapy, meditation, visualization, EFT, breath work, that all helps with the nervous system. And there's a little bit more about the parasympathetic nervous system and vagus nerve. So I love the vagus nerve, and I have an exercise here on YouTube, and I will email this presentation out for you all in a PDF form. And this is that gut-brain connection. So if we're trying to outthink what we're supposed to eat, then we're missing how we're feeling. So I spent all those years anxiety, worries. Now my body gives me little subtle messages. So the vagus nerve is the vagabond nerve that gathers all the information from all your very, very important organs here in your body. We have one up here, the brain, but all the rest are down here. So it gathers the information up to the brain. So that's the highway. So this gut-brain connection that everyone's talking about, it doesn't start with the brain. It starts with the body up, okay? Connect, ask what your body needs. Do you need water, snack, rest, quick walk? Our body releases fat toxins through our exhale. So maybe like relaxing yourself, laying down for 10 minutes, then going back and opening the fridge, that may help too. Then try to tune out of your head instead of like, I should eat more protein. I should eat more vegetables. I should eat more of this. I shouldn't eat this. Like that should is your big indicator that something's going on. Are you craving hot or cold, sweet or savory? So tune into sensations. So have you ever packed a salad and are just grouchy that you packed a salad and wish you had a hamburger? Okay. A salad is more cold and crunchy. It's like more yin in Chinese medicine. And then the hamburger is more umami, more yang, right? So there's the conflict. We're just not supporting ourselves like we need to be. So do you need to pack, hamburger and salad every time? Maybe for a while until you start to learn your senses. And you can tune in then. So here's a little more about the feel part. So you do hot or cold, sweet or savory. And the reason is sweet is on your taste buds, sour, salty, bitter, umami. And all of these flavor tastes are connected to organs in our body. So sweet is our nervous system. We have had crazy wind here. So I've had more honey in my coffee and tea in the morning because my nervous system is pretty tired in the morning and I'm a really good sleeper. So I wake up and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So I'm using a little honey to relax my nervous system. And within 10 minutes, it's more relaxed. Instead of if I don't support it, maybe all of a sudden I'll want some sweet and I'm wanting to like try to put a Band-Aid on it. Does that make sense? So fruit and squash is another one. I just went straight to honey. Chocolate's another one too. Sour is for our liver. Salty is our kidneys. Bitter is our digestive system. And umami is our brain and tongue. So when we do my programs, if you join me to do my programs, we practice more of these flavors. And it gives us a little more variety in our eating plan too, which may help us with some nourishment instead of being malnourished too. And then my favorite one is the tree, step 2. So feel your meal. So feel first and then meal second. I've created 4 different meal types. And these 4 meal types are for all you're supposed to do is practice rotating them. That's it. There's not a perfect number and, fit yourself into this box. You pause, breathe, tune in, what to eat. And all of them about mineral absorption. So I recommend, here's the 4 actually. I'll just go right here. This is a little bit easier. So if you need less comfort and less hungry, try a vegan meal. You know what? I'll go back over here. I take back. So here's the tree. It's vegetables, protein, fat, and it's vegetables, starch, fat. And I have a 20-minute video, Melinda, that I shot at the farm that you just visited at Alana. I shot this 20-minute video and here it is here. I'll send this all to you too, but I just want to give you the gist of it. So vegetables, protein, fat is a protein meal. Vegetable starch, fat is a starch meal. The whole tree is a combined meal. And a vegan meal is either veggies and fat here or fruit and fat here. And the dairy guy, the little goat, goes best over here on the protein side. And the whole reason this is certain foods combine better to help our stomach acid break it down. So it goes more digested into our small intestine. So everyone here have heartburn before, right? We've all had some heartburn. That's probably improper stomach acid. Our stomach acid isn't working as acidic as it could be. And so we go and take antacids, which is actually counterintuitive. We need more, but don't judge, don't blame yourself or anything. It is a nice relief, but we can fix the cause by helping you break down your foods better in your stomach so your small intestine can absorb the nutrients from your food better. Okay, so here we go. So now we'll go. So if you need less comfort and you're less hungry, try a vegan meal. If you need more comfort, less hunger, try a starch meal. You need less comfort, more hungry, try a protein meal. And the whole kit and caboodle, that's the combined meal. So if you're out with friends or you know you're going to go out tonight, have the combined meal, save the combined meal for out, but try having your breakfast and lunch one of these other 3 meals and just rotate and see what you learn about yourself. So we practice that during our course. And the whole reason we do this is we want more happy cells. So here's our healthy cell here, and here's our inflamed cells here. Okay, so healthy cells are, well, let's do inflamed first. We can't absorb nutrients. We can't eliminate waste. So there's the malnourishment and toxicity again. We have low unhealthy levels of L-glutathione, which is a master antioxidant and detoxifier. And then ATP is energy. That's why our energy crashes. So you can wake up with a sad cell, and in the morning, and by the afternoon, you can switch it with some great tips. Then we have healthy cells here. We're absorbing nutrients, we're eliminating waste, and we have healthy levels of these. Look at how much more glutathione and energy we have, right? All right. So some symptoms and suggestions. Yeah, let's do these today. So for example, if you're tired and bloated, I recommend some digestive enzymes, magnesium, vitamin C, B12, try the 5 deep breaths, try focusing on non-combined meals. So when you do my programs, I give you more brand name ideas. We try other ideas too. This is a short list. It's just to get us started. You feel dehydrated and sluggish, try lemon or lime water. Lay on your left side after meals, coconut water. Sleep issues, when you sleep through the night, your body can restore, regenerate, and utilize fat for fuel and repair. Because what are you doing all night? You're breathing evenly. So some people have sleep apnea or snoring, so that could be causing some stress, and then weight gain and hormonal issues happen too. So some ideas, try omega-3s before bed, whether it's fish or vegetarian is great. You can try a vegetarian protein before bed, protein powder, excuse me. I've been using, I switch around, I go around. I have a goat whey right now, and I have like a pea protein and a chia seed protein right now. Just got a new cool one I want to try. Do I recommend not to have food and just do powders? No, but this is just to support you to go to get some sleep, and you might need the amino acids for your neurotransmitters, Mental hunger. When your brain is low on glucose for energy, this can cause cravings, low energy, and fatigue. So definitely do the 5 deep breaths, track your emotion, hydrate, and add in a happy snack. We tend to judge ourselves in those moments, but you could be malnourished and your brain may need some more support. So one of my favorites is apple and almond butter. And I also talk about cravings, but I'm going to save that for webinar 2. Okay. Other thing we talk about in my programs is emotions and your relationship with food. So I call it your food relationship type. And you can take the quiz here by this link, which you again will get. Hey, Melinda or Kathy, have either of you taken the quiz? If you guys want to share, you can share on the chat, or you can unmute yourself too. So I created this quiz because I am all of these. So I used to have 8, but I've narrowed it down to 5. So I'm a very rebellious eater. So like when it's New Year's, I'm like, don't you tell me what to do kind of thing. Anybody else here? I'm a comfort eater. Sometimes I feel guilty. That one I've done better with just because I made it my profession. Pleaser. Sometimes I'm like, oh no, you have it when I'm really hungry. Number. If I'm overwhelmed with emotion, then I sometimes eat to numb. And then the goal is to be connector, like to feel connected, being like, I am experiencing emotion. I am having stress. Okay, here are the ladies. Oh, cool. Melinda said, yes, rebel. Yes, Melinda. Thank you, my fellow rebel. And Kathy doesn't recall, but maybe we'll take it and you can figure out which one you are. And the reason we do this is I was doing my nutrition program, of course, food focused, but I was meeting all of these very strong personalities, mine included. So we're all these strong personalities, and this comes from our inner operating system. So there's some limited beliefs, there's some really structured beliefs, there's some things we're just holding on to. And at time in our past, that was part of our subconscious to keep us safe. Now, The guilt isn't keeping us safe. It's causing us more stress hormones, and like disease and weight gain is just happening more in our world than we would like. So knew I was missing a piece, and this was the piece I was missing. So I'm excited to share it with you all. And the reason too, the visualization science of a mantra. So we do a mantra with each food relationship type. So when you find out yours, you'll receive your mantra. The thalamus, the part of the reality making process, the brain, makes no distinction, between inner and outer realities. So thus any idea, if contemplated long enough, will take on a semblance of reality. So I feel guilty. I ate this cookie and then my mom slapped my hand. Like that is part of your operating system. So guess what? When we're making homemade cookies, your thalamus may still resemble that this is still happening in your current world. Thus that guilt gets triggered. Okay. All right. Some common limiting beliefs for the rebeler. Sorry, this is kind of small, ladies. Here's the one, and I would love to hear your input too. No one can tell me what to do, so I might as well create more resistance. That's totally me. And the mantra is, even though I'm complicated, I love and adore myself. I might even get that tattooed on my body. I'm going to go down to comforter. I have to do it all on my own. Feeling of powerlessness. Like I can even tell in my body sometimes my back starts to hurt and I don't feel supported. So here is comforter. I am supported. What else do I need? All right, let's do guilter, because I talked about guilter. It's hard for me to forgive others and especially myself. Woo, right? Remember the slap of the hand, the guilt feeling? So here's the mantra for guilt. And you can make up your own too, because this is your program. I'm ready to be honest with myself, my feelings, and probably anger. There's some resentment and anger in there. Okay. So here's how it works. Here's the science. So we have our beautiful hypothalamus here, which consists of our pituitary and our pineal gland here in the back. And what happens is we are in fight or flight, right? We're having a stress response. These organs go alert, alert, and take cascade of hormones down into our body. Okay. And then our body's responding like, okay, be careful, be careful, be careful. We're on defense. All right. Okay. We'll come back to this photo. So here's a thought. Here's the cookie. We can bring up the cookie again. Thoughts come in without, well, our judgment or meaning. So for example, the person that got slapped on the hand with the cookie has a judgment. And then there's 90,000 other people that have no judgment about a cookie. All right. So thoughts come in without our judgment or meaning. They are initially unlimited. Then they travel first up to the left hemisphere, which is our logic for the intellect and reasoning side. And then the altered ego, stress response, trauma, conditioned mind is expressed. So here's the cookie. And then all of a sudden the person that got slapped in the hand goes, uh-oh, this is bad. So the ego blocks, resists, refuses to allow all thoughts to be received and entertained for a greater realization. So the guilt trigger there is, this is bad, this is bad. So for example, like it housed in the memory, okay? So the portion of the brain then amplifies the current and sends it into the pineal system as a memory. So we are living from a conditioned mind. And mine around food was psychotic because I was a clinical nutritionist and had like stomach issues and had like an unhealthy relationship. I had a love dislike. I'm not using the H word, a love dislike relationship with food. So mine was just this current over here in my pituitary and pineal gland was just sending hormones and stress left and right. So the pituitary gland is in charge of making many essential hormones and also tells other endocrine systems glands to release hormones. So we have the ACTH plays a role in our body, responds to stress. It stimulates our adrenal glands, which are two little guys above our kidneys, to produce cortisol, which has many functions, including regulating metabolism, maintaining blood pressure, regulating blood glucose levels, and reducing inflammation, among others. Then we have this thing called oxytocin. So the ACTH is in the front and oxytocin is the back part. Your hypothalamus makes oxytocin and your pituitary gland stores it and releases it. Its main function is to facilitate childbirth, which is one of the reasons it's called the love drug or love hormone. But who here has had oxytocin around food? Me and that mac and cheese. So there's something about it that calms me, that it probably is like a childhood. Maybe I was stressed one time and then made it after school and it calmed me. So there is a reason that we're all into the stress hormones, and stress is high from everything we've been experiencing these last 3 years as a collective too. So thus be really kind to yourselves if you're starting to make these shifts. I'll do that one later. All right. So the reason to help this hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis, we can call it the HPA, is because it is the part of the endocrine system, the chemical messenger system of the body through which hormones are secreted. It consists of the hypothalamus, the pituitary adrenals. I already told you that. But the symptoms of dysfunction, look at that long list, right? So the biggest sign of adrenal fatigue is tiredness and is not relieved with quality sleep. So we're in this constant state of flare up, I like to call it, or the cascade of the hormones, just by our thoughts alone. So what I recommend to do with conscious nutrition, we practice seeing what's stored under there in our subconscious, and we bring it up gently, and we start to look at our food differently. So that's what we do during my programs. We kind of did that already. So thoughts cause chemistry shifts. So the levels of the stress hormone rise during tension-filled times. And when we're having a flare up, it's hard for our body to digest our food, right? So when we're having a flare up, we're in fight or flight. So all of our blood goes to our extremities and not here into our internal organs, especially our stomach and digestive tract. So one example is go ahead and take the 5 deep breaths. And I love to shift to acceptance mode versus resistance, okay? So look at diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. We do anything to go from feeling bad to okay. So if we're feeling bad, I need the mac and cheese to make me feel okay, right? So that 90 seconds, give yourself 90 seconds because that emotional flare up will work through the body and that cascade of the hormones will go down. So the oxytocin from the pituitary gland and everything will balance. But what we're doing all day is compounding that. We're not giving ourselves the 90-second break and compound. So I want you to that could bring up some emotions. So if it's a really intense one, be kind to yourself and maybe, pause it, put a pin in it until you're alone or you have support. Okay. All right. We'll talk about, so for example, so you're 90 seconds. So I'm sorry, I kind of showed you already. So Melinda and Kathy, close your eyes for the next slide if you're not driving. And a donut is good for me. Ooh, feel your mind and body go into maybe a tug of war. And then what you do is you wait that 90 seconds, which is true, mind or body. It's your body. Because your mind is still late. Your mind's late to the game because the hormones already went down through the whole body. And then your mind's going to go, wait, but I need to attach a meaning to it. So I shared this story on a radio show I was interviewed for the other day, that a few years ago on Easter, I was like craving a donut. And I was in a different city than I usually am. And I was like, why am I craving a donut? It was Easter Sunday. And I'm like, I don't even know where a donut store is. What's going on? I kind of like pushed it back and then it kept coming up. So I finally was like, fine, I got my keys and I was like, I'm going to go drive and get a donut. And then I was probably like fumbling for where the donut store was. And all of a sudden I kind of felt sadness. And I went, oh, I actually want to call my family. So we would go out for a donut after Easter. So I didn't really want the donut. It was sweet. It was not like, oh, the donut's bad. But giving ourselves time, we're actually going to feel that stuffed emotion down there, repressed emotion. All right, everyone. Any questions, ladies? You guys can unmute yourself if you want. Let's see. Let me stop share for 1 sec. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, let me tell you a little bit about conscious nutrition. I created Nourish University. I love the name. So it's YOU, and it's all about supporting you. I work with people seasonally or for the year, and we do baby steps. We don't do these all or none programs again. So here's a reason I love baby steps. I actually wrote a post about this reason, about this. We always judge ourselves because they feel insufficient. We actually feel like they're too little and they're not going to even give us the results we want. And they don't ever feel like they're giving us the proof for the result. But why we do them? Because they work. They totally work. There's science on this. They work because they're giving us, we're trusting ourselves. We're building up this lightning rod of energy and confidence and self-belief and new beliefs that we can then choose what to nourish us in a healthier way. And this works for life too. I trust me, I'm a master manifester and it works for life. And there's things that come in that are always supportive, right, Melinda? But we learn from them and we take them to the next level. And what I do is I create monthly and seasonal anchors throughout the year. So what we're starting with, oh yeah, what you receive all year. I love being your point guard. I feel like I'm your team leader, your space holder, and it is a totally your program of you. Like I'm here to like kind of go, well, how about think about it this way? Just because I can read what's going on in your subconscious, especially if it's causing you blocks and holding you back. All of our old and new baby steps, reprogram our subconscious around how we relate with food, highlight and deeply nourish the different organs and systems of the body. I have the monthly anchors and the quarterly anchors. I actually added in breath work every month to the program. Release the feeling of being on or off. Like even when my clients aren't, it's not the right time. My members, it's not the right time for them to do the program. That's fine. I don't want them to. They can maybe like do a couple things or even just show up and just see what they receive. And they always receive something or they always even give something. It's really beautiful. And I have seasonal live programs and you get all my programs, all my books, which I've written quite a few different resources. So we're starting out with the 40-day program. It's my new one. It's called the Meals and Feels. And I'm kind of playing around with calling it Increase Your Nutrition Intuition too. Get 40 plus days of meal ideas. The recipe book is broken down into flavor types, temperature types, and the 4 meal types. So the hot, cold, sweet, savory, your food relationship mantra, the food tree, the feel your meal process, progress and tips, and my journal. I don't get triggered. I know the journals make people triggered. Mine's really lighthearted. It's not your typical journal. It's actually a cool little like spreadsheet to help our left brain feel safe while we tune into those feelings. There's actually even a column for guilt and energy and feeling. So no more doing it perfectly with guilt and shame, only self-awareness. And then if you want to work with me more private, we go through your journal a little more together. So here's like a sample of the meal plan for guilter. And it's broken down into 40 days with your food relationship type. For example, for comforter, I have a suggestion for how many for each week for each type. And we go through that together. And it's a range. There's never perfection, but it's for you to practice learning about yourself. This program begins January 31st. So in 2 weeks, all calls are recorded for your listening convenient. And this one's $297 total, or a payment plan for $111 for 3 months. So you pay a little more because of the credit card fees. Okay. And I'll send you that link. And then Nourish University is a group program. And I have private too, but group, we do quarterly one-on-one calls, 2 live master classes, counting this one and then the fall one, a live breathwork class per month, a live healthy happy hour per month with a worksheet. We added in my new 6-week compassion class with my dear friend, David Fugol, 1 week of intermittent fasting experiment course. And we may change that. That's in the summer and we kind of play with that. Private Facebook community. I bring in tons of experts and that's $2,500 for the year or $235 a month. And if you sign up for the 40-day and then decide to join for the year, I'll discount your price of your 40-day, the $300. Then private is all the same thing, but you get 2 private calls with me per month. And we go a little bit deeper into your journaling. And we actually look through your doctor's labs too, at least twice a year. We do labs with your primary care physician, or we might have to, consult them out, but you get everything else too. And here's the journal. Here's what the journal looks like. See how simple it is? And it's a cute little checklist too. You can actually check it. This one you can, it's a picture, and that one's $5,000 for the year or $450 a month. And again, if you sign up for the 40-day, I'll discount you because I don't want anyone to stress. We don't need any more of that. And I have like our list of everything for the year here. My friend Buffy Owens, who gave me Conscious Nutrition, she's Conscious Movements. She's a Feldenkrais practitioner. She gifted our course, which is lots of different tips on Feldenkrais. So she is amazing at pain and helping people with pain. So you get that bonus course. And again, Nourish University is to work with me either seasonally or all year. It's to reduce your mental, emotional, and physical stress around food choices, meal planning, and guilty feelings. So here's how you find me, but you guys found me. And here's some of my resources for today too. So I'll send this out for a PDF. Do you wonderful ladies have any questions? I love your loyalty. You two have been here. I so appreciate it. You make it worthwhile. And I'll figure out how come that didn't go. Oh, life. Oh, life. You can unmute yourself if you have any questions. Lots of info. Yes, I'm going to send you the PDF of this, and you'll get the recording too. What stuck out to you the most, Melinda? Thank you, gorgeous Kathy. Thanks for being here. Yeah, if anything stuck out to you, I'd love to hear it. And you can ask me Q&A on my page. I'm going to post this on my page now that it's didn't go live. Yeah. I even tested it last week. Oh, cool. Good, Kathy. Yeah, I have, you get the tree. I'll send you, when you get the email, I'll send you the link. Or if you go to my website too, you can get the tree and you'll get the download and you can put it on your fridge. Then the video that I did at this beautiful farm in Hawaii, in Kauai, and it's me going over the tree for like 20 minutes. It's actually I call it the meat and potatoes of my program, Kathy. Yes, it's super helpful and it's to help with digestion. And that's the whole reason I did it. And then I thought it eases our mind of like, what should I eat? So this morning I had a vegan meal. Lunch, I had a combined meal because I knew I had a big busy day today. And then tonight I'll see if I want a protein meal or what I want. And all you do is just rotate those. It's not an all or none program. Excuse me. All right. If you have any questions, go to you guys know where to, you folks, I'm trying to switch from you guys. You all know where to find me. You can email me or post on my page. And I so appreciate you. Thanks, Kathy. She really appreciates my food philosophy. I do too. And I make it lighthearted because it's been heavy for too long. Even when we do need to, dial it up a little bit, like, I'm having heartburn more consistently. What should I do? We do dial it up, but we still need to be super compassionate with ourselves. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, everyone who watches this recording. You can reach out to me. The Meals and Feels 40-day program will be do it yourself. After I do it live, you can go in and do it yourself. It'll be the same price. And you can do it yourself too. So if you're not a group person, it'll be $297. You get all the same info too. All right. Thank you, lovelies. And I appreciate you all. Thank you, Melinda. I adore you. We'll have a good catch up and have a gorgeous night. Thanks, everyone.